Hello everybody, how are you today? Today we are doing Natural Science, Year 2, Unit 1. And we are talking about living things, and especially we are going to talk about animals, okay? Let's talk first of all about living things. Which are the characteristics of living things? Living things are born, like this chick. This chick is born from an egg, but living things can be born also from the mother. Grow, okay? Eat and drink or absorb nutrients from the ground. Reproduce and breathe with gills or with their nose, and die, okay? So are born, grow, eat or absorb nutrients, reproduce as well, so they have babies, well, that's optional, and die. Here we got non-living thing, living thing, non-living thing, living thing, and living thing. Okay, so different living things and two non-living things, because these two, they are not born, they are not grow, they don't eat, they don't reproduce, and they don't die. We have studied two different groups of animals. Last year we studied vertebrate animal. This year we are studying vertebrate and invertebrate animal. What's the difference? Vertebrate animals have bones, huesos. They have bones. They have a skeletal column, okay? They have a skeleton. Invertebrate animals, they don't have a skeleton. They can have a shell or they can have an exoskeleton like this one, but they don't have bones. Here we have invertebrate animals. We have 5 groups that we have studied, the 5 of them. Vertebrate animals with bones, we have mammals, birds, fish, reptiles, and amphibians. Those are the 5 groups of vertebrate animals. We have studied 2 groups of invertebrate animals, arthropods and mollusks. Vertebrate or invertebrate? Vertebrate, invertebrate, invertebrate, vertebrate, invertebrate. And this is the difficult one because it's a reptile, is vertebrate, okay? It has bones, has a skeletal column.
Vertebrates and invertebrates. Vertebrates have got a backbone and skeleton. Invertebrates have got hard bodies or shells to protect their bodies.
Hard body or a shell to protect their body.
This king scallop is an invertebrate. It doesn't have a skeleton, so the shell protects its body. Look at how it uses its shell to move in the water.
This animal that we've just seen, it has a shell to protect the soft body, and it's an invertebrate. It doesn't have a skeleton. The first group that we are going to study, the first group of vertebrate animals, is mammals. Mammals have several characteristics. Mammals give birth from the mother, okay? The mother has the baby inside and it gives birth. There are only 2 mammals that are oviparous, but the majority of mammals are viviparous. They are born from the mother. Baby mammals drink milk. That's why they are called mammals, because they drink milk. Mammals have got hair or fur. This is hair and this is fur. little bit more about mammals. All these animals that you have in the picture are mammals. This is a llama, and you can see that it has a lot of fur to protect from the weather. This is a sheep, and this is a baby sheep that is drinking milk from the mother. That's why we are called mammals, because we drink milk from the mammals. We are mammals. A whale is a mammal, okay? It doesn't breathe with gills, no. It breathes with lungs. And this is another mammal. It's called an otter, and it has a lot of hair to protect its body. Okay, let's go to the second group of animals. Okay, the next group of animals that we are going to study are birds. Okay, let's see the characteristics of birds. Birds are vertebrate animals, so they have a skeleton. They are oviparous because they lay eggs, and they have different parts that help them fly. Some birds don't fly like the ostrich and the penguin, but in general, birds fly. We've got the tail, we've got the wings, and we've got the beak, Okay. Birds are vertebrates that lay eggs. They have got a beak, a tail, wings, and feathers. These are feathers, okay? What is covering their bodies are feathers. Almost all birds, so the majority of birds, can fly. Let's go to the third group of animals, which are fish. Look at the picture and let's see the characteristics of fish. Looking at the picture. Fish have fins, similar to wings but smaller. Fish lay eggs. They lay eggs, so they are oviparous. They have a tail for swimming. This is a tail, and a tail. They have scales to protect their bodies, scales. And they have gills, these ones, that help them breathe. So they absorb the oxygen from water through their gills. Let's see. Let's put a tick or a cross. Some things are true and some things are false. Let's see. Fish lay eggs, so they are oviparous. Yes. Fish live in water. Do they live in water or do they live on land? They live in water. Fish have got legs. No, they have got fins and a tail. Fish breathe with gills. Yes. They don't breathe with lungs, they breathe with their gills. Listen to this little reading. That is a little summary of what fish are. Characteristics of fish.
Fish. Fish are vertebrates that lay eggs. They use gills to breathe. They have got fins, a tail, and scales. All fish live in water.
All fish live in water. Some live in salt water and some live in fresh water. So some fish live in rivers and lakes or ponds, and some fish live in the ocean or in the sea. Okay, let's do this activity about amphibians and reptiles, because the only difference that that we have studied is both of them are vertebrate animals, but which is the main difference? Amphibians have got a soft, smooth, and wet skin, and reptiles have got scales. Amphibians, when they are babies, they have got gills. Reptiles don't have gills, okay? Those are the main differences between amphibians and reptiles. Let's do it with this picture that I think it will help you.
Reptiles lay eggs. Look, the turtle is protecting its eggs.
Reptiles lay eggs.
2. Amphibians also lay eggs.
Amphibians
Can you see the small egg in the water?
lay eggs as well.
3.
So both lay eggs.
Most reptiles have got 4 limbs.
Reptiles have
4.
4 limbs.
Most amphibians grow 4 limbs as adults, like this salamander.
Amphibians
5.
Baby amphibians breathe with gills. Do you see the tadpoles swimming?
the tadpole
6. Reptiles, like this snake, have got scales.
okay.
7.
Scales.
Amphibians have got wet skin. Look at the shiny skin on the frog.
Okay, they have wet skin. So it's a little bit shiny, brilla, because it's wet. And it's also very smooth and soft. These are the main characteristics. Reptiles lay eggs. Reptiles have 4 limbs. Reptiles have scales. And reptiles can also have a shell. For example, the turtle has a shell. Amphibians, they don't have scales and they don't have a shell. Both of them are oviparous, so both of them lay eggs. These are characteristics in common. But amphibians have got wet skin, and when they are babies, they have gills. Those are the most important things about amphibians and reptiles. Here you have a little summary of what we have studied about reptiles and amphibians. Remember, they are both vertebrates, so they have a skeleton.
The Komodo dragon is the largest lizard in the world. Look at those long limbs. Amphibians spend a lot of time in water. Look at this frog breathing and inflating its vocal sacs. Can you guess the sound it's making?
Listen to the last group of animals that we are going to study. They are invertebrate animals, and we are going to study 2 groups, arthropods and mollusks. This is the summary of the unit that you've got at page 17.
Arthropods and mollusks. Arthropods and mollusks are invertebrates.
So they don't have bones.
Most arthropods live on land. They have got many legs and hard bodies. Most mollusks live in water. They have got soft bodies. Some have got shells, and some have got tentacles.
We are going to see the characteristics which are here in this activity. Which are the characteristics of arthropods? Let's see. Arthropods, most arthropods live on land. On land. Remember that if you have on, you cannot say on water because it's not on water, it's in water. So most arthropods live on land. But some live in water. Some, a few. Arthropods have got what do you think? A hard body or a soft body? A hard body. Well, it's not really a hard body, it's an exoskeleton. Arthropods have got 6, 8, 10 or more legs. So these are the characteristics of arthropods. Let's go to mollusks. Which are the characteristics of mollusks? Most mollusks live in water, but some live on land. Most mollusks have got a soft body, Some mollusks have got what? A shells, and some have got tentacles. Okay, so this is a shell, and these are tentacles, and this is another shell. Okay, now we are going to see the unit summary or the unit review, and we are going to see all the little things that we have talked about. Listen and watch.
Vertebrate animals have a backbone. Mammals, birds, fish, reptiles and amphibians are vertebrate animals. Mammals give birth to their babies, drink their mother's milk, and are covered with hair or fur. Birds lay eggs. They've got a beak, a tail, wings, and feathers. Fish have got gills to breathe in water. They've got fins, a tail, and scales. Reptiles have got scales, and most of them walk on 4 legs. Amphibians have got moist skin, and most have got 4 legs. Baby amphibians breathe with gills. Invertebrate animals haven't got a backbone. Arthropods and mollusks are invertebrate animals. Arthropods have hard bodies and many legs. Mollusks have got soft bodies. Some mollusks have got a shell for protection, and some have got tentacles.
And this is the end of Unit 1. Year 2, Unit 1. Okay? Bye-bye.